Here are the 9 celebrities preparing for today's show. Only one of them can win up to £50,000 for a charity of their choice. The others will leave with nothing, as one by one they're voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to a special edition of The Weakest Link. The 9 people in the studio are all judges and experts on television, but not tonight. Anyway, they could win up to £50,000 for charity. If they want that prize money, know-it-alls will have to work together, but 8 of them will leave with nothing. As round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen, and I am an expert on loveliness in all its forms.
Richard Park, recently seen as celebrity headmaster on the Celebrity Fame Academy and scourge of all musical wannabes.
Amanda Lamb. I have an extremely tough job. I have to travel the world and help people find their place in the sun.
I'm Bruno Tognoli, judge in Strictly Come Dancing, and I'm here because I've always wanted to meet the sexiest dominatrix on TV, Annie.
I'm Dermot Gavin. I'm a garden designer and sometime dancer.
Vicky Butler-Henderson, racing driver and car expert.
Neil Fox, judge on Pop Idol and music expert and music lover.
I'm Naomi Cleaver, and in judging the nation's taste, I've actually been compared with a lovely Anne.
Greg Wallace, judge on MasterChef Goes Large and greengrocer.
Now the rules in each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £5,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that's been banked can be taken forward. In round 1, there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Amanda. Let's play The Weakest Link. The first question is for £100. Start the clock. Amanda, in law, what is the 5-letter job title of the person who is addressed in court as my lord?
Judge.
Correct. Bruno. In customs, in the UK, the anniversary of the day on which somebody was born is known as their what?
Birthday.
Correct. Dermot. In shopping, what colour precedes the word grocer to give the term for a shop that sells fruit and vegetables?
Green.
Correct. Vicky. In everyday etiquette, the response, "you're welcome," is usually given to which polite 2-word phrase?
Thank you.
Correct. Neil. In UK politics, after the 2005 general election, who began a 3rd term as Prime Minister?
Tony Blair.
Correct. Naomi. According to 2 well-known song titles, what D is the name of the items that are forever and a girl's best friend?
Diamonds.
Correct. Greg.
Bank.
In TV, the puppet character Basil Brush is a representation of which wild animal of the dog family?
Fox.
Correct. Lawrence. A person who uses bad language extensively and forcefully is often said to swear like a what? Super or trooper?
Trooper.
Correct. Richard. Which point on a compass is directly opposite north?
South.
Correct. Amanda. In the fairy tale by the Brothers Grimm, what exact relation is the Wicked Queen to Snow White?
Stepmother.
Correct. Bruno.
Bank.
In UK clothing, what K is the usual term for women's underpants?
Knickers.
Correct. Dermot. In maths, what is 29 plus 8?
37.
Correct. Vicky. In quotations, which group of people did Sir Alan Sugar describe in 2005 as total scum? Quiz show hosts or professional footballers?
Quiz show hosts.
Professional footballers. Neil. Which flying mammal shares its name with a piece of equipment used in table tennis?
A bat.
Correct. Naomi. In a stream, rows of large rocks on which one can cross to the other side are called stepping what?
Stones.
Correct, Greg. What C is a name derived from a Latin word meaning love that denotes any organisation set up to provide help or money for those in need?
Charity.
Correct. Lawrence. In language, people who are surrendering and pupils who think they know the answer are told to put which parts of the body up?
Hand.
Correct. Richard. According to the cliché, a bad ventriloquist often mispronounces which three-word phrase as "gottle of gear"?
A bottle of beer.
Correct, Amanda.
Thank
In personal appearance, a woman's lips that are particularly full and red are described as being what? Bee-stung or moth-eaten?
Bee-stung.
Correct, Bruno. In the Bible, which figure was noted for his strength that he gained from his long hair?
Samson.
Correct, Dermot. In the Gregorian calendar, which month of the year comes between July and September?
August.
Correct, Vicky.
Thank
In the Hollywood Walk of... OK. You've reached and banked your £5,000 target. It took you a pathetically long time. You had 12 correct answers in a row, so you could have got there much sooner. So think carefully who banked too soon. Which judge is going down? Who probably couldn't spot a pop star in a footballer's bedroom? It's time to vote off. The weakest link.
In an impressive first round, the strongest link statistically is Amanda. The weakest link is Vicky, as the only player to answer a question incorrectly. But who will be the first to take the walk of shame?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Neil.
Vicky.
Greg.
Neil.
Vicky.
Delicious Dermot.
Lawrence.
Vicky.
Vicky.
Dermot,
Yes, Anne.
you must feel very privileged to be here,
Yes, I do.
because I don't normally let the gardener in. How did you manage to get a television programme?
I did a garden at the Chelsea Flower Show 10 years ago, and Alan...
Oh, you were discovered, were you?
I was.
Who discovered you?
Alan Titchmarsh.
He was looking for someone with charisma, was he?
Well, I don't know. Lawrence, help me here. What do I say? She's scary when she looks at you.
Do you have a script? when
Beautiful,
you're...
but scary.
Just try and concentrate. Can you not keep still? Are you all right? Do you want a break?
Not when you're looking at me, Anne.
Why, Vicky?
Because she got a question wrong, but she did bang, so it was Catholic guilt, but she did get a question wrong.
So, Naomi,
Yes, Anne.
you've been likened to me.
I have, actually, yes.
Why?
I think people think I'm a bit mean sometimes. And people think you're a bit mean sometimes. But I just call it opinionated. And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
What do you do, Naomi?
My day job is as a design consultant, and then occasionally I'll present shows on design.
Do you think television needs any more design shows, Naomi?
I don't think so, but when...
No. OK, why, Vicky?
Why, Vicky? Because she got one wrong.
So, Richard, I've been very excited about the thought of meeting you.
Unsurprising.
Because you are fantastically successful, aren't you?
Well, it's very, very kind of you to take that view, and if that's what you believe, I happily bow to it.
Just remind me of some of the people that you plucked from the gutter and gave their showbiz career.
From Fame Academy, well, Lamar we're obviously very proud
Oh,
of.
Lamar!
Yeah, he went on to win a Brit.
You spotted him.
I wouldn't say I spotted him, he was on the show.
You were really keen on Lamar, were you?
We were going through a training process, and at times one had to be brutally honest with the man. You know how that one goes.
You didn't back
think
him at all, did you, Richard?
In no series so far have I backed anybody. It's about performance on the night, and just as
So
I'm
what
sure it
about
is
your
here.
performance tonight, Richard?
It's strikingly average so far, but I'm hoping for an improvement.
Would you like to sing for us?
Would you like to hear me sing?
Yes.
Oh, flower of Scotland.
OK, thank you.
You never let us Scots get a word in.
Why, Vicky?
Well, she got one wrong, and in the opening round, one suspects everybody probably should get one right.
Vicky, you are the weakest link. Bye.
expected an absolute sort of whitewash. I thought everyone would vote for me. I didn't mind, I expected it. I was the weakest link. Fortunately, the walk of shame isn't as long as I'd thought it was going to be, but it was still painful every step.
Round 2, and you have £5,000. You're down to 8 players. We're now taking 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Amanda. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Amanda, in Law and Order, what eye goes before parade to give another name for a police lineup of suspects?
Identity.
Correct. Bruno, in 2004, which TV makeover show, originally presented by Carol Smiley, ended its 8-year run in the UK?
Changing rooms?
Correct. Dermot, in Customs, if you make a proposal of marriage, you are said to pop the what?
Question.
Correct. Neil, in the Winnie the Pooh stories, what is the name of the offspring of the character called Kanga?
Rue.
Correct. Naomi, in Anatomy, the largest muscle in the human body is where, the buttocks or the brain?
That's really hard, isn't it, actually?
Is that your answer, Naomi?
No, it's buttocks.
Correct. Greg.
Bank.
In 1950s B movies, the much parodied stereotypical greeting made by aliens who have recently landed is "Take me to your what?"
Leader.
Correct. Lawrence, in which sport is it possible to bowl a maiden over?
Cricket.
Correct. Richard, in treasure hunting, the portable electronic device used to locate objects buried underground is called a metal what?
Geiger counter.
Detector.
Oh.
Amanda, what K is the general term for a fastening made by tying together the ends of a piece of string?
Not.
Correct. Bruno, in a children's playground, which specific part of a car is often used as a seat for a swing?
Pass.
A tyre. Dermot, in music, the operatic quartet, whose debut album was a UK #1 in March 2005, is called G what?
G4.
Correct. Neil, in tabloid gossip, a derogatory comment by one female celebrity about another is often accompanied by which word, woof or meow?
Meow.
Correct. Naomi, in TV, in which 1980s series did a character called Hannibal Smith have the catchphrase, "I love it when a plan comes together"?
Pass.
A-team. Greg, in the 3 words used to describe a man with classic good looks, which term usually goes between tall and handsome?
Dark.
Correct. Lawrence, in geography, Chianti is a wine-producing region in which European country?
Italy.
Correct. Richard, in travel, the international airport near Doncaster that opened in April 2005 is named after which legendary outlaw?
Robin Hood.
Correct.
Right.
Amanda, in science, what L is the word used to specify a cable that is, at the moment, carrying electricity? Do you want a few more minutes?
No, that's
An hour
probably
or
enough.
so?
Lead. I'll go for lead.
And you'd be completely wrong. The correct answer is live. Well, that wasn't so hot, was it? Out of a possible £5,000, you banked just £2,000. So, which judge got themselves in a pickle? Who couldn't find a winner in an insurance company commercial? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
The statistics reveal that the strongest link is Greg, as he banked the most money for the team. Richard is the weakest link, but how will the votes go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Richard.
Naomi.
Richard.
Naomi.
Richard. Bruno.
Richard.
Richard.
Lawrence, how is it down the job centre?
It's a lot prettier now, actually.
So, could you just move off your podium? OK, take us through the suit.
Oh, take it. Oh, yes. Well, sober,
You have put
obviously.
on a little weight, haven't you?
I've changed my corset maker, and I don't think he's crunching it in at the back enough.
How does it look so straight on you?
I think it might be computer-generated. There's a lot of very clever seams in this one.
It's not got some MDF behind it, has it?
Good idea.
Pop back on.
Can I?
So do you not like Richard?
I think Richard's probably very nice.
Take us through the probably.
He got a few wrong, and I thought he kind of went on a bit.
So, Amanda, what do you do, dear?
I present a programme about people buying properties abroad.
And how does that go?
Well, we take people to far-flung destinations.
Far-flung?
Very Fiji. We were in Fiji last year.
Where else have you been?
America, the Caribbean, France, Spain, Italy, Portugal, Slovenia.
So it goes like this. You make people who've been born and bred in Slovenia homeless, and then you recommend their homes to other people?
Yeah, we take English people there, and if they've been there sort of 50 years, we sort of kick them out or offer them quite a lot of money and move them in.
And you're trained in this, are you?
Sort of. I was an estate agent for several years.
And why Richard?
Because he got the metal detector question wrong, although I did like your answer, even though it was wrong.
So what do you do, Greg?
I'm a greengrocer.
What's your programme called?
MasterChef Goes Large.
Just step over.
Goes very large.
Did you get on television because of your looks?
Oh, I don't think. What do you think? I think I'm quite attractive. I've got a certain sartorial elegance. Mind you, they're all wearing suits. I look like the cab driver when I turned up. All these gentlemen are very smart.
We thought you were.
OK, hop back. And what's your particular area of expertise?
I'm a greengrocer to restaurants, and I have been for about 20 years.
That's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
You're a veg man, really?
The term is greengrocer, Anne.
Yeah, you're a veg man.
I'm a greengrocer. Lovely aubergines, tell your mum. Don't touch it, madam. It's not like your old man's. It won't get any bigger.
Hi, Richard.
Not only did he get one wrong, but he looked like he might have lost a bit of confidence and was taking a long time to answer.
Richard, you are the weakest link. Bye.
Fortunately, I had no expectations, so I'm not surprised that I'm out early. But actually, to be out early is a disappointment. I'd like to have played on.
Round 3 and you have £7,000. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Vegetable Greg. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Greg, in religion, the former footballer and TV presenter David Icke has stated the belief that the world is controlled by what? Mice or lizards?
Lizards.
Correct. Lawrence. In crime, a punitive regime that some people have considered to be suitable for young offenders is known as a short, sharp what?
Shock.
Correct. Amanda. What is the second consonant of the modern English alphabet?
B.
C even. Amanda. Bruno. In a tobacconist, double Corona, Robusto and Churchill are standard sizes of what?
Tobacco leaves.
Cigar. Dermot. What P is the four-letter name for a style of fashion that emerged in London in the mid-1970s featuring torn clothing held together with safety pins?
Punk.
Correct. Neil. In maths, what is the positive square root of 121?
11.
Correct. Naomi. In language, Scouse is a dialect that originated in which English city?
Liverpool.
Correct. Greg. In media, the term page 3 girl denoting a topless model has been registered as a trademark by which British newspaper?
The Sun.
Correct. Lawrence. According to legend, the American blues guitarist Robert Johnson achieved success by making a pact with whom? The devil or Simon Cowell?
The devil.
Correct. Amanda. In cinema, which French word meaning first is the usual term for the initial public showing of films?
Premiere.
Correct. Bruno.
Bank.
The choreographer who was a judge on the 2005 TV series Strictly Come Dancing and Comic Relief Does Fame Academy is Craig Revel who?
Craig Rebel Horwood.
Correct. Dermot. In sport, in a knockout team competition, the round in which there are only 4 teams remaining is usually known by what name?
The knockout round.
Even the semi-final. Neil. In the title of the popular humorous song in which Liza and Henry discuss repairs to a household object, there's a hole in the what?
Hole in the bucket.
Correct.
Dear Liza.
Naomi. In nature, what C is a 4-letter word that denotes the centre of both an apple and a planet?
Core.
Correct. Greg.
Bank.
In art, which facial features of a painting are sometimes said to follow people around the room?
The eyes.
Correct. Lawrence. In language, the word tafia is a light-hearted description of the media and political establishment in which country? The UK.
Wales.
Correct. Amanda. In politics, in 1964, the Organisation of Afro-American Unity was founded by whom? Malcolm X or Ali G?
Malcolm X.
Correct. Bruno.
Bank.
In clothing, what is the name for the hooked pieces of wood, wire or plastic from which garments are suspended in a wardrobe?
Coat hangers.
Correct. Time's up. Didn't feel like banking, Dermot?
Oh, sorry.
You put in the kitty £1,750. Whose head is now a vacant property? It's time to vote on. Weakest link.
For the second round in a row, Greg is statistically the strongest link. The weakest link is Dermot, with the fewest correct answers. But will the voting reflect reality?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Bruno.
Dermot.
Naomi.
Amanda.
Dermot.
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 I wish you were playing.
So, Neil,
Yes.
what's the point of you these days?
The point of me is I have my own primetime Saturday night TV show.
But we don't hear you on the radio anymore.
I stopped being on the radio. I'm sure I'll go back, but I've done it 20 years. Thought I'd have a little break.
Pretend you're on the radio again.
And what would you like me to do?
Well, just give us one of your classic lines and perhaps introduce a Gareth Gates number.
Here we are back on Capital, but a live outside broadcast from the set of The Weakest Link. With the gorgeous Anne Robinson about to play a wonderful record from Gareth Gates. Let's get it cranked up. Here we go.
So you just moved seamlessly from radio to television, did you?
Well, I suppose I've been sort of around TV for quite a few years, doing Pop Idol and other stuff.
What have you been doing recently on television?
We're doing these things called the Great British Tests.
Oh, what's that?
It's a really good interactive quiz where the nation votes.
Gosh, that's original.
Yeah, exactly.
And why Dermot?
Well, he cocked up a load of questions, to be fair, didn't he? So
One.
I just felt he was the weakest link.
So, Naomi, did you go to Lifestyle Presenters Training School?
No, I did not.
So, where did you get the knack that you all have of moving your head from one side to another and stressing every other word?
I don't know. I think it just sort of... I think the producers sort of poison you.
Go on, give us a taste, because Neil's given us a taste of him on Capital. Let's hear you say something like, this tired room needs a touch of modern style.
No.
Or maybe just tell us why you voted Dermot off.
Dermot, because he didn't bank, I think.
Yeah.
Was that the reason? Yeah, I think so.
You did point that out. You did give them a big hint.
This will be difficult. Dermot, could
Yep.
you just stand still for a minute?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Dermot, you are the weakest link. Bye.
I think Anne and Lawrence were trying to match each other cleavage to cleavage. You see that? They're both dressed in a certain way. I mean, I could do it if I did that.
Round 4, and you have £8,750. You're down to 6 players. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Vegetable Greg. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Greg, when used to distinguish a father from a son with the same name, the abbreviation SR is short for which word?
No idea.
Senior. Lawrence, popular in the UK in the 1970s, Big Daddy and Kendo Nagasaki were professional participants in which sport?
Wrestling.
Correct. Amanda, in healthcare, which term for a religious house is also the name of a private hospital in southwest London known for its celebrity clientele?
The Priory.
Correct. Bruno.
Bank.
In music, a waltz usually has how many beats in a bar?
Can you repeat, please?
In music, a waltz usually has how many beats in a bar?
3.
Correct. Neil. What B is a collective term for suitcases that is often used in psychology to refer to the lasting effects of past experiences?
Baggage.
Correct. Naomi. In 2005, which TV presenter made a spoof documentary about his bogus quest to become an MP for the Purple Party?
Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen.
Correct, Greg. In
Bank.
the series of Mr. Men books by Roger Hargreaves, what is the name of the character who talks incessantly?
Mr. Chatterbox?
Correct. Lawrence, in education, if the word literacy means the ability to read and write, what is the equivalent term for the ability to do simple mathematics?
Numeracy.
Correct. Amanda, in the 19th century, the Englishman who introduced the idea of postage stamps had what name, Roland Hill or Roland Butter?
Roland Hill.
Correct. Bruno, in food, what is the usual term for dried plums?
Prunes.
Correct. Neil, in nature, a spruce, a rat, a lobster are all named after which Scandinavian country?
Sweden.
No, the correct answer is Norway. Naomi, in media, in March 2005, of which BBC royal correspondent did Prince Charles say, "I can't bear that man, I mean, he's so awful, he really is"?
Nicholas... something like that.
Nicholas Witchell. Greg, in hip-hop culture, which word said twice is used to describe diamonds, jewellery and other flashy items?
Bling bling.
Correct. Lawrence, in 3 film titles, South, Mansfield and Jurassic are all followed by which word for a type of open space?
Park.
Correct. Amanda, in literature, when the name of a writer is unknown, it's usually replaced by which 4-letter abbreviation?
No idea.
Anon. Bruno, in the theatre, an actor who is said to corpse on stage inappropriately does what? Time's up. You won £1,000, but you actually had a chain of 9 correct answers. Who's the talent spotter and who's the train spotter? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
Statistically, the strongest link is Lawrence, as he answered the most questions correctly. Neil is the weakest link, but will the other players consider this when casting their vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Neil.
Naomi.
Neil.
Greg.
Amanda.
Amanda.
We have a tie team. Amanda and Neil, 2 votes each. Bruno.
Yes, mistress.
I think you're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you very much.
Who's the most famous person you've worked with, Bruno?
Freddie Mercury. God.
Did you teach him to dance?
We did a very, very funny video in which they were all in drag, called The Great Pretenders.
Were you on the video?
No, I wasn't. No, I choreographed it.
Oh, you never start on a video.
Well, I kind of wore a very kind of something very small in an Elton John video called I'm Still Standing.
Oh, well, come to one side and let us see.
Well,
So what exactly did you do?
I was dancing in a group of dancers,
Okay, just show us.
I had my crotch on camera, on a close-up. I mean, all the twat.
Now, don't exaggerate.
No, this is the size of the shot. That was like that.
No, that's not what you were saying to begin with.
All I had to do was this. It was disgusting. And then I stopped dancing. I thought I'd better stick to choreography because I thought I was used. They used me for my body, not for my talent.
Why, Neil?
Well, he got 2 questions wrong, and I'm very jealous of Neil because he drives an amazing car, and I can't stand it.
And that's the reason to vote me off?
Yeah.
So, Greg, I know you're limited to vegetables, so what's your favourite vegetable?
A potato.
Talk us through the potato, Greg.
It's the most versatile vegetable in the world, and it's something we do very well on these beautiful windswept isles.
It's nothing to do with you looking like a potato, is it?
No. Do I?
So tell me, Mr. Potato Head, why Amanda?
Amanda got 1 wrong this time, but has also made mistakes in other rounds.
When the vote's tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. And the strongest link was Lawrence. So why did you vote for Neil?
Big car, basically. Same as Bruno. Bitterness and envy. Large Bentley in the car park, can't bear the man.
OK, you have a choice now between Neil and Amanda.
Yes, she's offered to do something you could never do. Definitely Neil.
Neil, you are the weakest link. Right.
Lawrence particularly, he's an incredibly vain guy. He would love to win. He wants to be whooshing his mane around, darling, on the screen for longer. So, to be honest, yeah, I think he'll get rid of people who he thinks are quite strong.
Round 5. Your total now is £9,750. There are 5 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Lawrence. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Lawrence, in expressions, a person who is insensitive or indifferent to criticism is often said to have a hide as thick as that of which horned African mammal?
A rhinoceros.
Correct. Amanda, in English grammar and a song from The Sound of Music, which personal pronoun is a name I call myself?
Me.
Correct. Bruno, in 2004, an article with the headline J-Lo wears the same boots 3 times in a month appeared in which magazine? Heat or The Economist?
Heat.
Correct. Naomi.
Bang.
In advertising in the famous tourism campaign I Love New York, the word love is represented by which shape?
An apple.
A heart. Greg, in sport in 2005, which player became the first qualifier since 1979 to win the World Snooker Championship?
I've no idea.
Sean Murphy. Lawrence, in popular expressions, what D, meaning a dwelling place, often precedes the words of thieves, of vice and of iniquity?
Den.
Correct. Amanda, in music charts, a disc that holds the same numbered position as it did the previous week is said to be a non-what?
Mover.
Correct. Bruno,
Bang.
in expressions, an unpredictable person with the potential to embarrass others is often described as a loose what? Cannon or ball?
A loose cannon.
Correct. Naomi, in TV, which actor who starred in The Professionals plays the title role in the drama series Judge John Dee?
Martin Shaw.
Correct. Greg, in language, the name of which water bird is also a slang term meaning to poke or pinch someone on the bottom?
Say that again for me, please. Which water bird?
In language, the name of which water bird is also a slang
Goose.
term? Correct. Lawrence. In entertainment, Tel Aviv was the birthplace in 1946 of which famous bender of spoons?
Uri Geller.
Correct.
Bang.
Amanda, in fashion, what P is the term for a fold that's sewn or pressed into a garment and has varieties called knife, kick and box?
A pleat.
Correct. Bruno. In 2005, Madame Tussauds unveiled an interactive waxwork of which British rock singer that judges the air guitar skills of visitors to the museum?
Pass.
Justin Hawkins. Naomi, in the popular children's song by Peter, Paul and Mary, Puff was what type of mythical creature?
Dragon.
Correct. Greg. In science, what was the name of the physicist who in 1905 proposed the equation E equals mc squared?
Oh, Einstein.
Time's up. That was the correct answer. You were in time, and between you, you banked a not very impressive £1,750. So which critic is looking critical? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
According to the statistics, Greg is the weakest link. The strongest link is Amanda, as she banked the most money for the team. But will the votes follow the statistics?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Bruno.
Greg.
Naomi.
Bruno.
Bruno.
Of course, Lawrence, Bruno's sexier than you are, isn't he? Why are you getting rid of him?
Because he's nice, but I think Greg's playing better. And I'm not going to get rid of the ladies.
So, Greg, you've really gone down the pan, haven't you, since earlier in the game?
The nerves are getting to me, I must admit.
Why Bruno?
Bruno has got questions wrong throughout the rounds.
And you haven't?
Yeah, one each round. But also, as it gets tougher, English is Bruno's second language, so he's going to find it tough.
Bruno, they're just jealous, darling. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
The team voted me off because there was a bit of jealousy, I think. Maybe because Anne was so nice to me. So they tried to get back at me that way.
Round 6 and you're up to £11,500. There are 4 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. Astonishingly, that's Amanda. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Amanda, what is the general term for a person who spoils the pleasure of others? Killjoy or Kilroy?
Killjoy.
Correct. Naomi, in TV, what were the nicknames of the spoof radio DJs played by Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse?
Smashy and Nicey.
Correct. Greg. Which word that literally means bitten by a female chicken is used to describe a man who is dominated by a nagging wife?
Henpecked.
Correct, Lawrence.
Bank.
The 2005 book by Alan Titchmarsh is entitled The Complete How to Be a What?
Gardener.
Correct, Amanda. In DIY, what D is a word meaning both to paint or wallpaper a room and to add ornament?
Decorate.
Correct, Naomi. In cinema, a series of 1980s horror films is named after which day and date traditionally said to be unlucky?
Friday the 13th.
Correct, Greg.
Bank.
The eccentric wine expert famous for saying things such as I'm getting gooseberries with a hint of grass cuttings is Jilly who?
Jilly... Not Cooper, not Johnson. No, Jilly... Can't remember.
Goulden.
Can't remember.
Lawrence. In medicine, the form of drug pack in which each pill is sealed in a bubble of plastic gets its common name from which skin condition?
Chickenpox.
Blister.
Oh, well done.
Amanda. In the west of England in 1685, Judge Jeffreys presided over an infamous series of brutal trials known as the Bloody what? Assizes or shambles?
Assizes.
Correct. Naomi. In clothing, which word meaning hold up or reinforcement precedes stockings to give another name for elasticated
Suspender.
hose? No, support. Greg. In pop music, before going solo, American singer Justin Timberlake was a member of which well-known boy band?
I only like music by people who are dead. Westlife.
NSYNC. Lawrence. In UK media, in a 2005 poll in FHM magazine, which former Big Breakfast presenter was named the world's sexiest woman?
Denise Van Outen.
Kelly Brook. Amanda. The phrase from the history of childcare now used ironically to suggest that authority should be respected is nanny knows what?
Best.
Correct. Time's up. You put in the kitty just £1,000. Ask yourself this, team, is Naomi an interior disaster? Maybe it's curtains for Lawrence. Has Amanda spent too much time in the sun? Or should Mr. Potato Head get fried? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
Statistically, Amanda is again the strongest link with the most right answers. The weakest link is Lawrence. But who will the players vote off?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Greg.
Greg.
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
We have another tie team, this time between Lawrence and Greg. So, Greg, did you actually think Lawrence was the worst player?
No, I don't, but just in case I did scrape through by the skin of my teeth, I thought I'd knock out the strongest player.
Why did you vote for Greg, Lawrence?
My theory is to get rid of the bald one, and then I can toy with these two at my leisure.
The strongest link, who's going to decide, was Amanda. I'd like you to tell me why you voted for Greg.
Because he answered 2 wrong.
And you want to change your vote?
No.
Greg, you are the weakest link. Bye.
I've seen chefs really fire up and lose it, but not quite as scary as Annie's silent stare. It sort of looks at you, I imagine a shark would, just before it has your leg off.
Round 7 and you've got £12,500. There are 3 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Amanda. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Amanda, in international trade, what I means to bring goods or services into a country from abroad?
Import.
Correct. Naomi, in romance, what is the term for a piece of music or a song traditionally performed to a woman by her suitor under her window at night?
Serenade.
Correct. Lawrence, the piece of headgear that originated in US sport and is sometimes worn backwards as a fashion statement is called a what cap?
Baseball.
Correct. Amanda, in nature, the popular garden flower, love in a mist, belongs to a genus of plants known by what name? Delia or Nigella?
Nigella.
Correct. Naomi, in the UK, an ineffectual upper-class male is often disparagingly described as a chinless what?
Wonder.
Correct. Lawrence, which actress and writer starred in a 2005 TV adaptation of her novel entitled Life Isn't All Ha-Ha, He-He?
Mira Sayal.
Correct.
Thank you.
Amanda, in the animal kingdom, which 3-letter word is the term for both an affectionate touch and the dung of a cow?
Pat.
Correct. Naomi, in tourism, the area of luxury hotels and casinos known as the Strip is in which city in Nevada?
Las Vegas.
Correct. Lawrence, on a golf course, what B is another name for a sand trap?
Bunker.
Correct. Amanda, in pastimes, a poetic expression meaning to dance is to trip the light what?
Fandango.
Fantastic. Naomi, which term for a citrus fruit preserve also describes a cat with a coat that is marked with
Marmalade.
orange? Correct. Lawrence, in cinema, the poster tagline, "What we do in life echoes in eternity," was used to advertise which Oscar-winning film, Ghost or Gladiator?
Ghost.
Gladiator. Amanda, in the US version of the reality TV show The Apprentice, the contestants compete to be given a highly paid job by which businessman?
Alan Sugar.
No, Donald Trump. Naomi, in children's entertainment, a device called a swazzle is used by puppeteers to achieve the voice of which traditional comic character?
Pass.
Mr. Punch. Lawrence, what V is a word that means both a poetic composition and a passage in a song that separates one chorus from another?
Verse.
Correct.
Thank.
Amanda, in astronomy, during a lunar eclipse, which of the three celestial bodies... Time's up and you won £1,850. Now, in round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank. Have the courage to vote off the weakest link.
In a dramatic reversal of fortune, Amanda goes from being the strongest link in the last 2 rounds to the weakest in this. Naomi is statistically the strongest link, but will this save her from the final vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Naomi.
Lawrence.
Amanda.
We have a 3-way tie. Naomi, it's a strange choice.
It's very tricky. I just got the feeling that Amanda got more wrong than Lawrence.
So, Amanda, why Lawrence?
Because I had a choice of a very pretty girl or a very pretty boy.
That's very illuminating.
Lawrence, why Naomi?
I think Amanda's been quite consistently the strongest link. Can't ever remember Naomi being referred to as the strongest link so far.
Well, when the vote's tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. And the strongest link was Naomi.
La 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 la.
Do you want to get rid of Amanda as you voted and keep Lawrence? Or do you want to get rid of Lawrence and keep Amanda?
Maybe we should go for all chicks. Yeah, we'll go for all chicks. Sorry, Lawrence.
Lawrence, you are the weakest link. Bye.
I mean, it'd been a big thing for me meeting Anne Robinson because you know, I've always had a real penchant for ladies of a certain age, particularly when they were a bit bossy. And I'm afraid to say I'm hideously disappointed. I don't know who's dressing her at the moment, but I thought she looked like Edna Mould from The Incredibles, those big glasses and that sort of odd hair thing. So in a way, it's been quite good because I've kind of travelled to the other side of my Anne Robinson obsession, leaving her for Bruno, which is nice.
Round 8. You have £14,350. 2 of you left. In this round, you've got 90 seconds, but whatever you win will be trebled. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Naomi. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Naomi, in games, on a standard 6-sided dice, what is the lowest value of any of the sides?
1.
Correct. Amanda, the garden designed by Dermot Gavin for home front that includes a 15-foot high steel structure is called what? Shark's fin or bird's nest?
Shark's fin.
Correct. Naomi, the common expression derived from film editing and meaning come to the point is cut to the what?
Chase.
Correct.
Thank.
Amanda, in the UK, which girl's name sounds identical to the 11th letter of the modern English alphabet?
K.
Correct. Naomi, in literary characters, Major, 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 Major is an army officer in which 1961 novel set in the Second World War?
Pass.
Catch-22. Amanda, in TV, which presenter known for wearing gold jewellery and smoking cigars has used the catchphrase, "How's about that then, guys and gals"?
Jimmy Savile.
Correct. Naomi, in a standard deck of playing cards, which suit is represented by a black symbol in the shape of a spearhead?
Spade.
Correct.
Thank.
Amanda, in the popular expression when it is pouring with rain, people say that it's nice weather for which birds?
Ducks.
Correct. Naomi,
Thank.
which former wife of Rod Stewart said in 2005, "I may be perceived as sexy, but really I'm like a big, bouncy, fun-loving golden retriever"?
Rachel Hunter.
Correct. Amanda, in gardening, which word meaning margin follows herbaceous to give the usual name for a flower bed filled with perennial plants?
Border.
Correct. Naomi, which film director and screenwriter is sometimes described in the UK press as Mr. Madonna?
Guy Ritchie.
Correct.
Bank.
Amanda, in motoring the mascot on the truck. Time's up, and you managed to bank £1,350, which will treble. That means prize money tonight of £18,400. Only one of you can take it away, so now you'll play against each other. Up to 5 questions each. If there's a tie, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. So, Amanda and Naomi for £18,400. Let's play the weakest link. Amanda, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice of who goes first.
I'd like to go first, please.
Amanda, which theatrical knight said in 2005 that he had fulfilled his remaining ambitions to play a pantomime dame and a character in Coronation Street?
Sir Ian McKellen.
That is the correct answer. Naomi, in religion, at Washington National Cathedral in the USA, there is a gargoyle in the form of which villain from the Star Wars films?
Star Wars.
The correct answer is Darth Vader. Amanda, which American showman successfully sued the Daily Mirror in 1959 for calling him, among other things, scent impregnated and fruit-flavoured?
Bob Hope.
The correct answer is Liberace. Naomi, in pets, which large breed of dog was developed in Germany but has a name derived from the term for an inhabitant of a country to the north?
German Shepherd or Alsatian.
The correct answer is Great Dane. Amanda, what is the full title of the 2005 film based on a book by Douglas Adams and featuring the voice of Stephen Fry?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That is the correct answer. Naomi, in food, which blue vein cheese may only be made by creameries in the counties of Derbyshire, Leicestershire and Nottinghamshire?
Stilton.
That is the correct answer. Amanda, in ballroom dancing, which Latin American step represents a bullfight with the man acting as a matador and the woman as the cape?
The tango.
The correct answer is the paso doble. Naomi, what is the full name of the stand-up comic and TV personality whose 2005 autobiography is entitled A Young Man's Passage?
Graham Norton.
The correct answer is Julian Clary. Amanda, in language, the name of which former penal device consisting of steps around a large wheel is now used to describe any dreary routine?
Mundane.
The correct answer is treadmill. Naomi, the man-made island resort in the shape of palm trees with luxury hotels and beaches is off the coast of which of the United Arab Emirates?
Dubai.
That is the correct answer. And after 5 questions each, your scores are tied. So Amanda and Naomi, let's play sudden death. Amanda, in science, the mannequin designed to represent the human body in car safety tests has become known by what 3-word name?
Crash test dummy.
That is the correct answer. Naomi, which electronic instrument was invented by Brian Jarvis, advertised by Rolf Harris, and used on UK hit singles by David Bowie, Pulp and Kraftwerk?
Synthesizer.
No, the correct answer is stylophone. That means, Amanda, you are tonight's strongest link and you go away with £18,400. What are you going to do with the money?
I'm going to give it to Shelter.
Naomi, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Goodbye.
The whole thing was absolutely terrifying and didn't understand why I'd agreed to do it, actually. So I just thought I'll just have a laugh. So the fact that I've ended up in the final is kind of cool.
When Anne asked Naomi about the instrument that Rolf Harris, I used to have one, and I used to play the most awful tunes on it, but I couldn't remember the name of it, so thank goodness she didn't ask me that one.